This is a little bit about how to look on a Oligoscan. After working with the Oligoscan for 13 years and cross-referencing the thermography work I had done previously, the clinicals, I got a much better picture, especially after start working with practitioners. And I got kind of thrown in the mix from a Oligoscan. They said, okay, your product has a solution to it. It shows up you're getting rid of metals with our Oligoscan. I wasn't really looking to get into this, but I was so fascinated, I could now set using a Oligoscan to investigate as a clinical. So every time I do a Oligoscan to somebody, it's like for them, it's their body. Okay, your body is saying this. It's got too much of this. You're maybe wasting money on vitamins that's not doing anything. Your lymphatics aren't working. So you can actually do a detoxification plan. This tells a person what to first look for when they're looking at the Oligoscans. When we see the Oligoscan, we'll show it, but the first one is a sulfur conjugation. That means, is your body sweating? There's so many people that you probably come across, they don't sweat anymore, and nobody knows why. On the Oligoscan, there's a thing called the lack of sulfur conjugation ratio. I've been able to determine that at 60 and below, a person is what we call an excreter for heavy metals. Above 60%, they're what we call a non-excreter. For some reason, they're not excreting metals through their skin. Above 60%, they have some lymphatic issues. They're retaining heavy metals. This goes at, okay, now I've established a person's excreter and they're retaining heavy metals. Heavy metals and the association of that they go out through the lymphatics to sweat. What are we looking at with the medical world? Totally escaped. I mean, it's a gap so big in medicine. It changes the approach, how we look at everything.
And we're using the Oligoscan, which uses spectrophotometry to bridge this gap to help people become more aware of how to get these metals out of their body.
This is what we're looking at in the questionnaire. I'm looking for habits and association of somebody living near maybe a cement plant that might have a lot of emissions in it, or something they eat the same, or they're eating food they shouldn't be eating, or they're living in near traffic.
Before someone does an Oligoscan, we have a questionnaire in it. We're going through specifics of lifestyle, where they live, internal, external environments.
I had one person that was eating a can of the oysters, farmed oysters that are imported every day. His mercury level was off the charts. And I said, you got to stop eating those things. That's where it's coming from, most likely, because they're farm raised and they don't change the water. And he says, well, I like them. I want to eat them. I'm like, well, okay. Or this one lady, her aluminum levels, nobody could figure out why they were so high on the Oligoscan. And so I found out, I said, any cement plants? And she said, yeah, I live around three of them. And they emit a lot of aluminum. They use aluminum to bind cement together. So where else do we find aluminum? We find a lot of aluminum uptakes into wheat and corn products. That's why you want to eat mostly organic. And so when people eat a lot of processed foods with wheat and corn, we make cake with baking powder. It's a form of aluminum that binds the cake together. But what happens when it gets into the lymph nodes? It cakes, it causes calcification in the lymph nodes. And all of a sudden you have a swollen stomach and you're not metabolizing your food. So that the heart and all these other organs aren't getting the nutrition. And all you're getting is swelling because your lymph nodes aren't working. Find out how to take this person who's been to the doctors or been to and they want to know why they're putting on weight. Now I can redirect their lifestyle.
People coming to us for a Oligoscan, we're getting the context that we then use this data from the person's intake form, and then we're cross-referencing it with the levels that show up on the Oligoscan software.
I've done extensive research on the sources, like where's aluminum coming from around the world. It's so plentiful that I finally stopped. It's being put in everything. If you know what the atoms are doing, you can do something about it. But if you don't, you're lost.
Investigating the intracellular matrix with spectrophotometry.
when the body gets rid of their cells out of an organ or out of lymphatics, it gets into the lymphatic system. You want to get that out. When you're looking at the Oligoscan and they're over 60%, they may have blockage from something that we don't know about, but we have to find out. And sometimes you even have to have thermography to find out in the body where it's blocked, because so inflammatory markers will show up. Now, they're a non-excreter. I saw lithium, and lithium is never this high. Never. I mean, I never see lithium this high. I mean, it's supposed to stop at such a point, and it goes beyond the scope of this graph. See the barium? See, it's in the red. He's
Yes.
had a lot of tests at the hospital. He's been tested to from A to Z, and he spent tens of thousands of dollars. He's got a lot of cadmium because he flies a lot, and he may have some amalgam problems. And he had neurological problems. He kept kind of fainting or falling over. I looked at the lithium, and I looked, the source leaching was the lithium battery was leaking into the skin of his wristwatch. And nobody but the Oligoscan could figure that one out. I've had about 4 or 5 of those.
So there's no other test in Western medicine that people can test for lithium levels in their body.
I cut it in less than 20 seconds. I went down and I said, "Where's the lithium?" And he's talking to me, and I look at his watch and I said, "How long you been wearing that?" And so he took the watch off. So a lot of these people are wearing these and they don't know that the skin is absorbing the lithium in the battery. Pretty fascinating. So you can pick up things that they can't pick up from the hospital. And he spent tens of thousands of dollars. Now, what he had a problem with is that his calluses were so bad, and his wife flew for FedEx. They went to Thailand, and he had the whole bottom of the feet sanded down. And he said they just grew back. So I had the healing salves, put it on, and he came back and bought 7 more jars. It dissolved the calluses on his feet. And he came back and he showed me. I think I got pictures someplace.
Why doesn't that work where females will go to pedicures and have their heel or callus shaved, or maybe they have some utensils at their in their bathroom that sand that and it just comes back?
It's kind of like scarring. It's kind of like shaving the underarm. And it actually affects the Oligoscan, because I found somebody that she was getting a pedicure and getting her heels sanded all the time. And she stayed in a non-excreter status. She was 75, if I remember right. And I said, "You should be excreting out of the bottom of your feet." And she says, "Well, I have my pedicure." I said, "Don't have it sanded." So we're finding out, do not file your feet. How it causes scarring when you do that. So they naturally have to come off, just like skin off a lizard. You have to just let it dissolve.
These other kind of accessories that are in like for bath that are lava rocks or something that people rub on their skin, it's really not even doing anything.
Not really. It's sanding the skin. The healing salts with the shungite naturally sloughs off the calluses.
Would you like to go through just kind of look around on some Oligo scans and we
Yeah.
can, this is their first Oligo scan, and for the most part, everything's in the green. They had low silica. I recommended doing horsetail tea, and so they now started horsetail tea. And what have you found to be the difference between taking horsetail tea, for example, and something like a ionic mineral silica?
The person taking the tea may have to take it 2, 3 times a day. We won't know until we retest them in about a month or two.
I also recommended the belly cream for them. So you mentioned that that has horsetail in it as well.
Correct. Yeah. This is actually good. The age of this person,
42.
okay, good. This is great. Let's go to their excreter status, first of all.
That was 20.
We're good there. So this is good because they're an excreter. So this means they can do external and internal detox products. Let's go to the sodium potassium in the minerals. See, it's low.
Yep, 0.31. And the normal range is 0.45 to 0.75.
So let's shift back up to the mineral graph. Lo and behold, Sodium, potassium's okay and normal. So why would it be low? The reason why is because as we go into heavy metals, the very top one is aluminum. It's interfering with the sodium potassium channels. It's mixing in with the sodium side of the cell. It's causing a change in the ratio of potassium over sodium.
So anytime we see that there is a ratio that's off and the sodium potassium is connected to the aluminum salts
Yep,
elevated.
yep. It happens all the time. Now go to the vitamin D, and that's the low one. And that's where aluminum likes to hide, is in the liver. They need to get out more of the aluminum. They need to sweat.
Yeah, they do baths several times a week
Good. It shows
with
that.
with borax, Epsom salt, and baking soda
What we want to do is the belly fat freedom would be over the abdomen, over the liver area
every
to,
night.
yeah, and to pull that out. And then as they're doing the 7 steps with the healing souls and the belly fat freedom, we'll go up to the minerals. And these are the 5 minerals that it's important to come and check on. It's the magnesium, and the magnesium is good. We want to keep that. It's the iodine. The iodine's good. So they're doing iodine drops or something. That's really good. That's unusual. Then we're looking at the zinc. Great zinc. This is not a vegetarian, is it?
They do eat local grass-fed beef too.
Yeah. And that's where they're getting their zinc from. Some people take the tablets and they don't work. So it's ionic zinc that shows up on it. Now, the other thing is the selenium and the sulfur. And those are the ones that I watch. Now, these will sometimes be depleted when they're detoxing really heavily. And this person is perfect. This is what you want to see from somebody. They're eating a lot of Brazil nuts.
They have had mercury fillings or in after we had done the scan, I recommended that they find a dentist to be able to get those out because like you said, every time someone chews food and they have mercury, it off gases.
Does this person have use makeup?
Yes.
Okay, that's the bottom one, tin. They all come out of tin. So that's interesting. And does this person like chocolate
Yes. So that's the cadmium.
and the lead? A lot of lead and cadmium in chocolate. The metabolism is in the yellow. Well, because of the aluminum, the high aluminum is getting into the intestinal lymph nodes and it's getting into the liver. So the billy cream will help with the digestive system. The other thing I always ask people is if they poop. When somebody says, well, I only poop once every 2 days, I go, no, 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 no. That's why I put them on the belly cream right away.
Here's a next client. So the 45 years old, they take prescription medication and eat processed food, are doing better little by little, and then also have a type of medical metal implant in their right leg.
Okay. So there'll be a non-excreter. If we go to the sulfur conjugation, I always find these people block. When they have anything, a titanium, the surgeon has caused what we call an insult. In other words, the lymphatics have been cut. And so they can't drain as well. And so that puts them in the non-excreter status. And it's in the knee or the hip.
It has the rotating part, and then the bottom part, the bone is titanium
Okay.
to the foot.
So they'll be sloughing off all the time the metals, even titanium. And so we constantly have to get these people to do the 7 steps all the time to pull the descending debris, contaminants, metals past that point because they probably get a little swelling in the bottom of the foot and the ankle at time and a dry foot. Am I correct?
Yeah, so callus. So basically, people who have implants need to be proactive in detoxing using Herbalix products daily.
Daily or nightly. If we go down to the physiology, I just want to see how many are on the red. Why are these so red? Is because zinc. Zinc just throws a physiology in the mineral section. So that is not good. This is where we do ionic zinc. And you'll want to have this person in a month or two come back, get retested. And at that point, you may have to increase their zinc. But when these people detox, they can't get rid of heavy metals if they're this low in zinc. It's the one element that throws everything off. The average person on Oligoscan is every 6 months. But with zinc, within 2 months, maybe even a month, to see how well, if you have to adjust and increase the zinc. Because if we go to the metals now, see, they're holding on to a lot of heavy metals, and
Yeah.
those will increase over a period of time.
They're on several different medications, so I think that is where the aluminum is kind of contributing to. Plus, they wear makeup and they've had breast surgery.
They've had a lot of anesthesia. Antimony below aluminum is usually when that's elevated, it usually tells me it's a processed food eater, a microwave processed food. See, the barium's a little high. It's high. That's because she had a lot of X-rays or
Yes.
mammograms. The association with, people who've had surgeries, breast cancer, whatever, it's all there. Now, this person, because she's had breast issues, has to get on zinc. I mean, she's non-excreter, so she actually, we have to maybe have her do a thermography to see if her underarms are blocked, if they remove lymph nodes.
And
Um,
she wears earrings, and the other factor is a stint.
Further into it is to have arms up, have a thermography side, front, and see if we can help this person or if we have to just use breast cream. Because one of the big things that I've come across at some of these conferences is the recurrence of breast cancer because their underarms don't work. They had the breast removed, and that doesn't mean the metals don't keep coming in that area. So that's why I put them on breast cream all the time.
And this person had different breast surgeries because when they had implants, the person had done them wrong. So they had to go back. So then you've got scarring.
We have a product called Detox, which has castor oil in it, and it's a good maintenance for the scar tissues because usually the doctor says, I can't do anything more for you. But this helps with bring the scar tissue to the surface. It's really good for C-sections. I have a doctor that she gets all the vaccines, she gets mammograms, but she had her underarm lasered as a medical student. So underarms never worked.
When you say laser, do you mean hair removal?
Yeah, hair removal.
Oh, so lasers that do hair removal impact the lymph.
They don't drain out of their armpit. So you have to worry constantly about headaches, thyroid, and breast issues. So she's been using my product, I think, like 13 years, maybe longer, and her mammograms come out fine. Didn't have any problems. I said, you can't excrete on the underarm. No wonder you're getting headache all the time.
So this one, she's 56.
Yeah, she's a good excreter. Zinc is good. It's all good. Let's go look at the heavy metals. She's got a lot of heavy metals, so she needs to, she needs to do some detoxification.
She's done a few scans. One of the things she says, I'm concerned about the calcium magnesium imbalance. It baffles me because I do not take a calcium supplement, and I do take quite a bit of magnesium in the evening on a daily basis. The calcium dose I prefer from foods, not from supplements, versus magnesium dose. She takes magnesium.
She's got the calcium over magnesium, and the deficiency is
Magnesium.
Does she do baths with Epsom salt?
Yes.
She needs to increase the Epsom salt, not a half a cup or a cup, maybe, because this is how you absorb a lot. But she's somehow being influenced by aluminum, and aluminum decreases the magnesium levels. I'll go back up to the vitamin D, and that is a little bit, this may be a post-COVID issue. When I see low vitamin D, something's going on with the liver. And so I would put her on the belly fat freedom. Let's go to the physiology. She's doing good, and all these look great. Go down a little further, and I'll point out something. Now, see the acidosis? The acidosis, it's a little high because she's retaining heavy metals. And when you have more metals in the body, it creates the acidosis. So people are trying to pH things out, and it's about getting rid of heavy metals, and that acidosis will come down. It's because of the heavy metal retention in the lymphatic system, like a battery terminal. It's creating acidosis artificially in the body. The more she gets rid of it, this person almost needs like infrared saunas.
They own one at the home and they do sauna regularly.
So I would have her use the Herbalix products and go in the infrared sauna, because we've had people at Dietrich Kleinhardt's conference. I had one guy who'd done his before. I didn't know, and I said, "God, your luminance really low." And he says, "Well, I use your product and I go in infrared sauna every day." We brought his whole scan. I said, "Sure enough," and we tried that with several other people. So doubling up and removing aluminum. To remember, aluminum and sweat. Put the product on, get infrared sauna, and sweat it out.
We can use the Herbalix products not just before we go to sleep and during the day. We can use that and then do sauna and it helps it.
Yeah, a lot of people do that and get great results on their Oligoscan. But you see how this tool you can work with a person and say, okay, this is your homework.
Thank you, Mike, today for going through the presentation, and I hope that everyone benefited from learning something new and new strategies that we can do to cleanse.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, we'll talk to you next time.
Okay.
If you're interested in how the Herbalix products can help you, use this promotion code NumaThrive20 when you're checking out any product on the Herbalix website, and you'll get a discount. We'll see you in the next video. Go to our link tree, choose a free 10-minute call, select the day and the time that you prefer to learn more how this fast, non-invasive scan can help you up-level your awareness and improve your life through improving your health.